All right, Paul. So this is the fifth and final sector to cover with our lap in your McLaren Senna at COTA. Unfortunately, as you'll see from the video, or as you saw from the video, in this sector, I was dealing with some traffic, and that held me back from being able to continue with a relatively fast lap. I quick guess, I suspect that I probably lost about 2 seconds in this section, possibly more. So it would have been a pretty impressive lap at a 217. Instead, I ended up with a 219. So just a little disappointing, but hey, it's part of being on the track and part of just being out there. So that said, I will try to glean some valuable information from this, just to kind of demonstrate to you still some areas where you can gain some time. A big area, obviously, again, I talked about this at the end of the last section or the last analysis. As you're coming out of turn 15, I'd love to see you carry some more speed, get a little bit more throttle as you come into the entry for turn 16. So typically, as you can see, I've got about 9 miles an hour on you here. I've got a fair amount of confidence entering this turn with some speed. I do drop off the throttle here to give that front end some bite. There's a lift here before the bridge as I turn the car in. And then I'm using this turn 16, turn 17. There's elevation here. And I use that elevation to effectively turn the car. I'm getting additional grip from the front end. And so I'm really starting to use the steering to draw that car in, getting relatively close to the apex here. I am typically about a car width off of that. And then I just kind of move the car around here and try to get relatively close on what you can call the turn 18 apex right here. So just bending the car around. So you can see how I create and started creating separation in our times all the way from the exit of turn 15 heading up to the entry to turn 16, right? So I went from effectively 5.4 seconds and then came up to about 6 seconds gain. So that's a good place for you to gain. So that was about a half a second that I got right there. So I'd love to see you enter that with a bit more speed, a little bit more confidence. At this point, things start to get a little bit difficult for me because I am dealing with that traffic. I had two cars to contend with, ironically, your 620R, as well as that there was an open wheel car that slowed me down through here. But that said, we can still get some valuable information from that. And one of the things that we can look at is looking at your min speed as we come through turn 19. Again, I'd love to see more confidence from you coming into turn 19 and coming through turn 19. As we can see, as I came through here, I was offline and I was still able to keep and another what your min speed was 56 and I'm at 58, 59. So even though I was offline and coming in here tight and had to carry a weird line, I was still able to maintain 2 or 3 miles an hour more than you. So I'd love to see you continue to build that up and continue to carry more speed through turn 19. Remember to be looking at the base of the gantry here, right? Like it's the basically where that it's not a T, but it's where that L forms the where the vertical and the horizontal tie together. If you're looking at that as you're coming through and turning in for turn 19, that gives you a perfect reference on where to go. And very similar to turn 10 in that we have all this additional runoff space on the right here. So if things start going bad, use this runoff space, use all the asphalt out here. It's a heck of a lot better than, again, trying to pinch that corner, trying to hold the car in and potentially running into this inside wall. So this is your safe space out here. Let the car run, let it out there. All right. So then coming along turn 19, I was still unfortunately dealing with that open wheel car. I didn't really have a clean space to pass him here. So we see that you're actually gaining some time on me as we come through here, and just trying to see if there's anything else here that is worth noting. Not really. On a positive note, It looks like you hit the apex pretty well here. Getting down to that apex at turn 20 is critical. Every foot that you get closer on that apex is going to buy you some time, buy you some ability to carry just a little bit more speed through here. As we were working through the day, I did feel like you were doing a great job carrying that trail braking down to the apex and then applying that throttle as we came out, right? And we can see that throttle application happening right here. That's a nice smooth throttle application, really starting to rip down that straightaway. Again, sorry, looking at the throttle application here, still very good throttle application here. The one thing, there's a little bit of a fight here. I'd love to see maybe a trace a little bit closer to mine where it ramps up nice and gradually. Anytime when when you're releasing throttle after the apex, what it says is that you went to the throttle too hard. So that's just something to always think about. Anytime that throttle that you have to lift like this, that means that you went to the throttle a little bit too early and a little bit too aggressively. And you can see the difference between our traces, right? So I'm applying that throttle, squeezing it on all the way versus we've got some uncertainty here because you're fighting for that front grip. So just smooth throttle application there. So unfortunately, again, not the ideal comparison for data, but hopefully this is helpful for you for that final sector. Love to see you. There's definitely time to be had by carrying more speed through turn 19. I'd love to see you working on that, focus on that, especially given the way your car is. And then honestly, even though I wasn't able to show it with the trace, there's definitely, we can enter turn 16 a little bit more aggressively, just build up to it slowly and then really start to feel how much grip the car has as we come through turn 17, turn 18, and turn 19, or turn 18, and then into turn 19. Definitely, it's all about finding confidence in that car, confidence in the aerodynamics, and confidence in that just physical grip that the car generates. So that said, I want to say thank you for letting me work with you. Had a great time and looking forward to getting back out there with you.